Hello, hello, hello.
Where are you so far, kind of in your
I don't really like the Tulane. You know what I mean? I don't really like the Tulane today. Yeah, well, I played in that one. Yeah, they got us. No, I'm joking. Here we go. I got you.
That's tough to top.
Yeah.
Where are you so far in terms of your progression? Where you wanted to be at this point here in camp?
I think I'm on track to be ready. Exactly where I need to be and where they want me to be. I'm excited. Every day I wake up, I'm learning something new. Um, you know, and so getting ready for the season, preseason, and these next practices. I'm very excited. Still progressing. But we're towards the install right now for this portion, which is very exciting. To think that not too long ago I didn't know really anything about this offense, and now I know a lot more than I did then. So progressing, excited, and ready to go.
You've been open about kind of the inner dynamic for you, that drive to be great, the striving for perfection while also understanding that there are going to be mistakes. How's that been for you so far, kind of balancing that in your mind?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm always tough about the mistakes. That's the part about me I think that is that drives everything. And being tough on myself, being tough about the mistakes that happen, whether it's MAs or it's actually a turnover or anything like that. Just being tough on myself. But understanding that there are going to be mistakes, and how I respond to those mistakes. It depends on how, and the response and all of that. Always provides an outcome, whether it's a good or bad response. The outcome from that response is always gonna it's always gonna be there. So like I said, getting back to it, getting excited, getting prepared for this, and these mistakes, these good and bad days that I having, at least in my good and bad days that I'm having. I know it's preparing me for those games late in the season, these preseason games coming up, and obviously I go versus this defense every day, so they make it tough on me.
Caleb, how vocal have you been in meetings with the coordinators, with your other players, about what you think could improve in a certain scheme, a certain set on the offense?
Yeah, I'd say I've been in some cool systems. Well, one cool system before this was Lincoln Riley, and we ran some plays similar. And even today, getting in there, talking about it. There's a play that we ran today that I ran a bunch of times in college, and I've had a lot of reps with it. And so I got in there with the QBs, talked about it with coach, and then we went out there and we executed pretty well on the play. So just if I have any knowledge, I always want to help. Obviously, if the other Qs have knowledge with plays, they always help. And just finding that comfort, that balance between it all, and getting out there and working on the play itself, and getting after it, and then the mistakes that we have, getting out there correcting, out there in practice or in the film, is important for us, and building that connection and relationship between the wide receivers and myself, the offensive line and myself, and getting out there and having fun, playing ball, exciting times.
Caleb, from where you stand, what are the pros and cons of you playing in preseason games?
I always think there's more pros than cons in anything, especially for a young guy like myself. The reps are always paramount for anybody like myself. A young rookie, second year guy, third year guy. It's paramount. It's really important. And we'll see about these preseason games coming up, how they play out.
You know, as our team, we've always been able to extend plays and not necessarily run, but buy time and then throw the ball.
Yep.
How much pride do you take in that? Is that something that's natural? Did you have to work on that a lot? How would you describe it?
Obviously, you work on it. You maintain what are strengths, and then you get better at the things that aren't so strong. And so I've obviously worked on it over the years. But I think it's part of it's natural of playing other positions when I was younger, and then the other part is that I worked on it throughout the long days and long years that I've had of playing QB now. And so it's a healthy balance of working on it and understanding, filling the offensive line and where they're going, the defensive line and things like that, the play, the scheme, that you have been running at that play, and getting after it and letting it rip.
What reality?
Thank you. Caleb, is there any part of these last 2 weeks where something about the offense or learning install has been more challenging than you expected or frustrating that it isn't coming quicker for you?
I'm not saying that it isn't there, and obviously there's going to be challenging times. It's not that it's not coming quicker or slower than I expected. It's more or less just myself. When I go out in the field, I expect myself to not mess up. It's just how I am, and so when I do, it's frustrating, and so. And I would think for any quarterback in the league, there's only 32 of us that are starting, and so for any quarterback in the league, I would expect them to be the same. Of when you go out there, you expect to have no MAs, no interceptions, no turnovers, and things like that. And when you do, it's frustrating. But it's how you respond and react to those frustrating times is when you grow and get better.
They told you yet if you're playing video games, do you feel like it's furthest away from where you would like to be come week 1?
Furthest away. It's a good question. I would say right now, working on my um, hmm, got me with that one. Stumped me. I would say working on my blitz looks, my blitz and coverage looks, and feeling the umbrella of the defense, and filling that out to adjust, to adjust protection, to adjust, whether it's a run, flip the run into it, flip the protection. Get to a quick game, get to a cover zero check. However the structure of it works out, just progressing, and a lot of that comes with seeing it, and reps, and so that's why also preseason and those things are so important.
Have they
Caleb.
told you if you're playing on Thursday? Have they told you?
They haven't told me yet.
Caleb,
Do you?
Oh no. I would love to get out there and play. It's pretty awesome to be at Canton, but it's coach's decision.
You think you'll get a chance to voice your opinion?
I don't know if I'll be able to voice it at this point and at my time in this point. So
Caleb, in practice today, you had the touchdown to Keenan on your right. Can you kind of walk us through what you saw and how you're able to kind of find him back there?
yeah, so we had a quick game for blitz that I went to, and also just that's where we started right there in that progression, and then start there, and then I got back to Keenan. I felt the pockets collapse, and then I felt a big gap open up, and I know Keenan was coming on the back line, and just I felt the defense push over, backer attached, and then backer was too low and threw it over his head.
You're 3 months in working
Yep.
with Shane Waldron. What about that relationship works for you?
Yeah, I think it's been a constant thing. Only really knowing him for, I would guess, 4 months, 5 months. I don't remember how long it is now, but knowing him for only a couple months, and just building this connection. I think it's a lot through communication, a lot through just talking about stuff, talking about ball, talking about life, talking about his kids, his family, talking about my family, and just on and off the field, just continuing to grow that relationship. And a lot comes through communication. A lot comes through frustrating times. A lot comes through good times of throwing touchdowns. When I throw an interception, just the constant communication is huge.
What good comes from the, you mentioned that.
Sorry, what say to you?
What's the good that has come out of the frustrating times for you that you mentioned?
Yeah, him being able to just talk to me, communicate, explain what I saw, explain what he thought and thought should happen, explain what he was able to see from where he was standing and things like that. I think those are always important times, to be able to talk to your coach, pick his brain, because you always when you're out there and he calls a play and he has 2-3 plays that he sent in, and whether it was alerting to another play, this and that, and I mess up or anything like that, being able to talk and what he saw and just to be on the same page is really important when you when you get a offensive coordinator, things like that, sending plays into you want to be on the same mindset as him, and I think that's really important right now, and progressing in that way, and then when we get to games and things like that, being on the same page and constant communication throughout the week to be able to be prepared for when he calls those 2-3 plays in the huddle, through the headset, and I get in the huddle, and then when I get up to the line, I'm like, okay, this is what he wants. This is we're on the same page, and being able to alert a play, keep the play, and things like that.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. The Bears.